In 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, so a very good, wait, I'm starting again. Greetings to one and all present here. Welcome to the first session of Global Sports Policy Reviews interviews. And today we're going to be having a rather informal session where we're going to be discussing about the festival that happens in India every year, a festival which goes for about 2 months. And this festival involves a lot of competitiveness from the players on field, and it goes all the way to our homes as well. So yes, you would have guessed it right. It's the Indian Premier League, which started a few days back. And joining us today, we have Mr. Sudhansu, Mr. Subrajit, Mr. Ahmar, Afaq, and Tarun Singh, sir. They are all sports enthusiasts and they are all working in the sports field as well. And the best thing about them is that they've not allowed their career to stop them from loving sports. So basically what I mean to say is that their love for sports is what they're doing in their career as well. So Sudhanshu sir, could you say a few words first?
Yes, sure. Hi, hello guys, I'm Sudhansu Sahoo. So I am currently practicing as a sports and media lawyer at Khurana, the Delhi office, the Greater Noida office. So I have just finished my master's last year from the Nottingham Trent University in sports law. And yeah, it has been my dream since I started my law. I wanted to pursue sports law as a career option, which was at a very infancy stage, if you can say, which is still at an infancy stage. But yeah, a lot of dignitaries which I spoke to, and a lot of books that I read, and a lot of my involvement in the game and other federations as such helped me to choose this career path. And I decided to move ahead with my master's degree into the sports law field so that I could get a better understanding of the subject with respect to the global scenario. And yeah, I am an ardent cricket fan. And like Ryan said, it's India ka Tyohar after all. And amidst this coronavirus crisis, there is something for all of us to celebrate, although virtually, but yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Afaq sir, would you like to add on a few words?
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Sudhanshu have rightly pointed that it's a festival, and amidst this lockdown, when the whole of the nation is again on the verge of coming to a standstill, it gives us a platform where we can just go and witness some exhilarating cricket. As what we have witnessed in the last 4 matches, they have been very closely contested one, and everyone, it's at least for my end, after a hectic office day, I wait for that 7:30 p.m. So when the cricket will start, and I'll engage in that process of witnessing just a brilliant cricket. Thank you.
Right, Tarun sir.
Oh, brilliant. First of all, thank you very much, Subrajit. Thank you very much, Ryan, for this opportunity. I won't say that I'm a huge follower of cricket now. Now my interest has changed to football. But yeah, there was a time I used to be a ardent cricket follower. I used to follow it, and now again I'm very happy that because of the IPL, especially IPL, I would be very honest that IPL is something that I watch on a regular basis. I'm extremely happy that every year my team wins. And this time again we start in a very not on a very pleasant side. We lost the first match against RCB, but then of course at the end of the day, I'll be very honest, we win it. So it's okay to lose a few matches, give other people the opportunity, make the competition extremely interesting, and then win it. But keeping all of that aside, absolutely what Sudhanshu and Ahmar has said right now. This is a festival, of course, and the best part is which this IPL has again proven is the part that youngsters in this country who look for a career in cricket, where there is so much of competition, IPL has given them a platform to express themselves. And if you look at all the matches, I think apart from one, which was the SRH match versus the Kolkata Knight Riders, in all the other 3 matches, young players who have just come in the cricket circuit have proven themselves, whether it was Harshal Patel in the first match, whether it was Chetan Sakaria in the second, or whether it was Avesh Khan in the DC match. So it's a great opportunity for everybody. And of course, I think fans love watching IPL. It's a very close-knitted, it's a very close-gutted competition, and I look forward to it. I just want to see, let's see who wins this time. Thank you very much.
Well said, sir. Thank you so much. Subrajit, sir, would you like to say a few words?
I want to say, I'm adding few words, but this is not my platform today. So our guests are the main people who should be here, who should be speaking on this. See, for me, IPL is something, I say, people say it's for entertainment. I say it's a platform where we get the young talents. For example, just like yesterday's match, we have seen Rajasthan Royals, for example, though they lose the match by a small margin, but we have seen the new talents, new faces who are playing that guy who was Prayag or something, like we haven't heard about him. But yeah, if you see what the future prospect, he has something, he has a chance in him that we can see in our Indian team, maybe after next few months or next few years. So for me, yeah, though being a Bengali, being from Kolkata, I am supporting Delhi, so Delhi Capitals, and there will be something like, again there is a young talents is there. Then another thing, like maybe from my academic side, recently we are signed a MOU with Delhi Capitals, maybe for that also. So that is something. So that is something, and yeah, for me, I was also not a cricketer, but yeah, but my family, my mom was a cricketer. She played for some Bengal division and all. So that's the thing. Yeah, for me, IPL is a platform again, which we can bring a new. And if you say our Indian team also, our Indian team is now working like the team. I think back in 2003, what Australia team used to have. Nowadays, our India team is something same, and reason is for IPL. Like even we can divide our IPL, our Indian team in A, B, C, D category, and each team has that potential. You can win any series, and that happened only through the IPL. So that's from my side.
Rightly said, sir. True, I agree. So if you notice, many teams also, it's the uncapped players that play an X factor for all the teams. Like even Devdutt was actually the highest run scorer for RCB last year, and all of them. So yeah, the uncapped players do play a role. So the first question I would like to give all of you is, it's pretty simple. Which 4 teams do you think are going to make it to the playoffs? Although we haven't seen what the teams can do, but we've seen a small preview of all the 8 teams. So starting with Sudhanshu, sir, which 4 teams would you pick to go to the playoffs?
Okay, so firstly, I would go with RCB because that's the team I love. That's the team I've been supporting for the past 13, 14 years since the inception of the IPL. So I cannot start ranking without naming RCB. With a lot of X Factor players and a good lot of experience in the side this time around, I think this should make it to the top 4. Secondly, I would say Mumbai Indians because on paper they are the strongest. They have 7 Indian international players, and all of their overseas players have proven themselves in the T20 format. So Mumbai Indians is obviously on the list. Thirdly, I would say Punjab. Again, with power hitters, with a mixture of power hitters and class in the form of Chris Gayle and KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal. And this time around, they even have a lot of good young bowlers drafted into the squad. So I would say Punjab would be the third team. And the fourth would be, I guess, Delhi Capitals, because Rishabh Pant leading a young Indian side, you can say, wherein even the great Australian captain Steven Smith is not in the lineup, and so they have a good mixture of Indian international cricketers in the form of Rabada and Nokia and obviously Pant and Dhawan, etc., etc. So these 4 would be my top 4 teams.
Right, so thank you so much, sir. It's really a good 4 actually, and they do seem quite strong, all 4 of them. Afaq, sir, moving on to you, who 4 would you pick?
Nearly, I have the similar kind of picks. Like I'll go with the Sudhanshu sir only. That my first choice will be Mumbai Indians. If you see, apart from what Sudhanshu sir have stated, that they have a good international players in their team. But apart from them, that particular point, if you see that the players, they are continuously playing with each other, and each player is having a potential to be a match winner, and they have been showing it in the last many seasons. Right? They understand each other's game pretty well. they know how to shoulder each other. So definitely Mumbai Indians. Then I will be going with Delhi Capitals. Not having a
So we lost you for a
okay.
sec.
My pick will be Delhi Capitals. Not having a Smith in the team, warming the bench in the absence of Rabada, in the absence of Nokia. Then you have Ishan Sharma on bench. You have Umesh Yadav on bench. Sam Billings on bench. Still, they have performed really well, and many have been, backing up Delhi Capitals as the formidable team this season, and it has reflected in the very first match itself. My third pickup will be RCB. As Tarun sir have said that all the cricket fans they have they have this wish desire to see RCB going to that far, right? Though they have not been performing very well in the last seasons also, but this time the very missing point between in the team, that is the middle order. We used to think that who after De Villiers and Kohli. So kind of Maxwell have provided that connecting factor to the RCB. Now it totally depends on the kind of consistency Maxwell will give, because the last seasons and so the Maxwell have been a very inconsistent performer. But if he can perform really well, then I'll be backing up RCB. And at the fourth spot, I'll be having, I'll be go with the safer side. It will be Punjab or Hyderabad. When it comes to Punjab, you have top excellent three players. Mayank Agarwal is there, KL Rahul is there, then Gale is there. Then in the lower order, you have Nicholas Puran. Yeah, Deepak Hooda performed really well today. And the last IPL match also, he have performed really well with Shami. If he retains his fitness throughout, Arshdeep bowled really well. So it's a good team. I cannot take away Hyderabad from the last four, because they might have lost their match, the very first match. But they are a one side which have been very consistent, right? And their main strength have been their bowling. In the first match, they have lost. I believe the main reason was their fast bowler seamers going for a plenty. If you see one of the most economical bowlers of our time, Bhuvneshwar, going for 11.2 runs per over. Then there was another bowler who bowled along with the Sandeep Sharma. He went for 11.7 runs per over. Right, Natarajan went for 9 or something. Then that particular Indian all-rounder Vijay Shankar went for 14 runs per over. So if you take away the 4 overs, Nabi and Rashid, which went for 8 and 6 runs per over respectively, the whole of the Pacers have gone with too much expensive. So, but that is something they have been relying upon. Their bowling is their main strength. So once they will be back in rhythm, the SRH will be a good contender.
Right.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much, sir. I think you had almost 4 same teams as Sudhanshu, sir. Only thing is you've added a probability of Hyderabad as well. Thank you, sir. Tarun, sir, who would you pick?
Definitely for me, the first team is going to be Mumbai Indians. I think what Ahmar sir and Sudhanshu have already mentioned about. I think the Mumbai Indian core is extremely, extremely strong. With now Chris Lynn coming in, and I think he proved himself in the first match itself that what kind of things Chris Lynn can do. He's been great at the Australian Big Bash as well. We are missing Quinton de Kock, who's absolutely, I think I would say he's my favorite player in the team, and because of the international duties that he has for South Africa, he's there. But for that, for just substituting him, you now have Chris Lynn. So the core, I'm audible, right? Yeah, perfect. Yes. So the core is extremely, extremely strong. I still want to see how Hardik Pandya and Kiran Pollard and Krunal Pandya, all three of them are going to do, because in the first match, I think Hardik Pandya scored somewhere around 13 and the other two scored 7 and 7. So as soon as these three also come into the play, we see Hardik Pandya bowling as well, hopefully. I think things are going to change for Mumbai Indians, drastically. With that, Trent Bolt is there. Trent Bolt is there as a bowler. So I think the core and the whole team complements each other really, really well. They've got a combination of youngsters and a combination of experience. So that is great. So Mumbai Indians is going to be my first pick. My second favorite team, if there is something called a second favorite team, is going to be Delhi Capitals, and I'm sure they're going to qualify for this. Again, what already Sudhansu and Ahmar sir has already mentioned about them. An absolutely brilliant team with Avesh Khan as the new prodigy which is coming out. Extremely brilliant opening partnership of Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan. I still want to see how Prithvi Shaw is going to play, because it's been a kind of habit with him that he starts off really well, but in the whole season there is a consistency issue. But you've got a coach like Ricky Ponting in your team, who's one of the best in the world, I believe. The way he manages players has been brilliant. Of course, Ravichandran Ashwin was a bit expensive in the previous match, but again, I will still put Delhi Capitals in second spot. Third spot, looking at the 4 matches that have happened, the third spot might change for me later, but if I look at the 4 matches that have happened, I think it's going to be Kolkata Knight Riders, because their young guns, which is Nitish Rana, Rahul Tripathi. Shubman Gill couldn't do a lot of things in the first match, but he worked. I think he scored 15 odd runs and he was in a good touch. Unfortunately, he got out really early. I think it's going to be Kolkata Knight Riders who's going to make a huge difference this time. And maybe Andre Russell couldn't do a lot with the bat, but look at the last over he bowled. Under so much pressure, he went for a lot of runs in the whole match, but he anchored the whole, the last over in such a brilliant way that they could stop Sunrisers Hyderabad with Manish Pandey and Abdul Samad hitting them all over the place. Both of them were in extremely good touch, but that's what experience is all about. Andre Russell proved that. My 4th pick is going to be between Punjab Kings or RCB, though I still think Punjab Kings are going to have an upper hand. RCB being a brilliant team with Glenn Maxwell coming in, but I have still a little bit doubt on about RCB, and I'm going to still give it to Punjab Kings, keeping in view the batting lineup they have, the bowling lineup of youngsters that they have. Arshdeep, though he conceded a lot of runs, but bowling against a man like Sanju Samson, who was 119, and still get him out on the last ball, though he tried putting them through. But that last ball, which you put a ball outside, a Yorker outside the off stump to a batsman who's hitting you all over the place on the offside, I think was a great move. So I'm still going to give it to Punjab Kings. So it's going to be Mumbai Indians, Delhi Capitals, Kolkata Knight Riders, and Punjab Kings.
Right. So well said. Thank you so much. Finally, Subrajit sir, your 4 picks.
See, I don't have any 4 picks like that, but if you say like first option always for me, Delhi Capitals. Haven't seen them, but maybe this time, because the team they had made, like we have seen the team, and by saying the team, we have seen that it's like not the full team also, but they have like people. There was a question in them like, will they win this match or not? But they have shown that. But I am really amazed to see from this side, like the guest here haven't mentioned one team name, and I'm really shocked to know about this. That is CSK.
Yes.
Chennai Super Kings. So I like even like in Chennai Super Kings, you can say like obviously there is some like soft corner you can say for Dhoni. People support that, and they have like in that case also they have experience also. But yeah, I was also in shock to seeing that Chennai Super King is not playing like Chennai Super King, though we have seen in each and every IPL. They at the first half they play like that. Then the second half of the IPL season starts. Then they come in form. So hopefully let's see on that. But in RCB, I have seen like RCB is my another choice. So I have chosen these 3. So RCB is my another choice. The reason of RCB is there, Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers. We cannot neglect that. But in other way, you can see like the batting order is not that much. If we seen that, like if we are seeing this IPL, we have seen like how they played, like suddenly putting washing the it's like they're doing the experimental of the things, right? So still now they are not in that much of like haven't choose. They have borrowed Maxwell, but though I was in shock to see like Maxwell is coming after Washington Sundar, and then AV de Villiers, because there was a plan. Everyone knows like Virat Kohli, then comes AV de Villiers. But there was something change we have seen there. So let's see how much the experiment works. So maybe Virat Kohli not only in Indian jersey, but do you want Virat Kohli to be get something in this RCB jersey also? Yeah, this is my 3 picks only. And sorry, not only Mumbai. I'm not taking Mumbai Indians because maybe this year is even on odd. I don't like. So it's not working for Rohit Sharma maybe. So I don't, because I have a huge fan of Mumbai Indians. I know Tarun Singh sir. So maybe this
It's
time
just the jealousy and the fear that you have is speaking, Shubhajit, right? It's just the jealousy for the team.
Tarun sir already mentioned that they always lose their first match and win the title.
Of course, for them, I'm so sorry to cut you in between, Subrajit, but I just want to put this. They always start this way. They're going to start with, losing a couple of matches in the first half and then winning. And they never, if you see, they never win their group stage matches very convincingly. They're going to just win by 2 wickets, 3 wickets, even the finals for that matter. I think the final that they won against CSK last year was a last ball, done by Lasith Malinga, and Shardul Thakur couldn't hit it. I think Shardul Thakur was the batsman, and it just changed for them. But Subrajit, please continue. I'm so sorry.
So Tarun sir want to say that the Mumbai Indians give head start to the other teams, and then they go ahead. Then you all take 2 points.
You've won the IPL for 5 times. I request all the other teams to please, pull up their socks and try to come even, somewhere near to the team. That's again what happens with me when I play, when it comes to football. I'm a huge Real Madrid fan, and that's what we do. We give other teams opportunities to win, and please come near us in the Champions League. But I don't know why people are not even coming up near us. So I understand all of this. Please, Subrajit, continue. Let's not go towards football right now.
Let's see then today. Like today only we have a match of KKR versus Mumbai Indians. Let's see then what the prediction, because I think Mumbai will be playing in Mumbai or in Chennai. I think
Chennai, I think you can't. I think this time in the IPL you can't have matches on your home field. Right?
Yeah. There's no home. Right. Like all the 8 teams have allotted accordingly.
So Dinesh Karthik, but for Dinesh Karthik, that's his home ground only.
So that's Chennai. we give people take all the advantages that you can. But let's see who wins in the end of the day.
For the last over, if we said like we have seen, like I was also shocked yesterday when just give a try, right? So when Sanju Samson, I don't know what will be your view, but like see Sanju Samson, second ball, the last over, second ball, he hasn't picked any run. Maybe there is a chance he can take a 2, and there can be like 3, right? So 1 ball, 3 runs. There is a chance he can get run out, or he can be, but he not taking a chance. Since I was in shock why you are not taking the run. So I don't know what will be your view on this case, but let's see who. But for us, let's see the even odd factor. Let's see today.
Yes, Subrajit sir, and that too when you are having the most expensive IPL player ever on the non-strikers end.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the fact that Chris Morris was not very cleanly hitting the ball yesterday. A few odd balls he have faced, he was not hitting that cleanly. In fact, the same was with the SRH match as well. The Manish Pandey definitely scored a half century, but he was not in a position where he can score very firmly. We have seen Abdul Samad came and he have just struck so well, and that too against Pat Cummins. But
and
Manish Pandey
that too, they were giving, and he himself, Manish Pandey, Ahmar was giving chance to Abdul Samad to hit it, because as soon as he entered, he started hitting sixes all over the place.
It happens in a cricket that one day you have your off day and the other playing is striking well. So maybe he has tried to give him more chance because he was playing really well.
Yeah, true.
Right. So interesting views again over there. My next, I would like to ask a question to Sudhanshu, sir. So since you said you're a big time RCB fan, do you think they should try to fix their batting lineup by bringing in experienced uncapped Indian player? Like they have options like Sachin Baby or someone to play the middle order. Because if you notice last game, there was a player, I think they got Shahbaz Ahmed in, but he was clueless. He didn't know what to do. Whereas at that position, you need a player to support the opposition. I mean, the batsman at the other end, or you need a person to hit. So Sachin Baby's done that for Kerala. He's done it for RCB in the 2016 season. When they reached the finals, he played the same role. So do you think they're better off playing him? And we know Devdutt Padikkal is probably going to come back and replace Rajat Patidar. But that middle order, the one more Indian player, do you think they should play someone like Sachin Baby?
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. I think because Kohli has made it very sure that he's going to open throughout the IPL. He declared that he would be opening in the IPL way back in January itself. So DDP, Devdutt Padikkal and Kohli for sure will be opening. So the lineup, like you suggested, would be better if someone like Sachin Baby, or you could say even Mohammad Azharuddin, who is a top order player, but he is also kind of a player who can rotate strikes, because that's what you want. You just don't want people who come in and start hitting, because for that you have De Villiers, you have Maxwell, you have Daniel Tristan as well, right? So you want someone to rotate strikes, because that's also important. Sometimes what if you lose early wickets? What if you lose Kohli and De Villiers in the start? So what happens then? So rotation of strike, as you would say, is very, very important in a cricket game, especially in the middle overs, taking on spinners. And if someone like Sachin Baby or Azharuddin can do that job, then I think RCB's batting order would look solid. And also because the lineup that they are proposing this season, I guess with Maxwell coming in, Maxwell, De Villiers, Kohli and DDP would be the top four. That's a no-brainer. And I think the only concern with RCB this season is the lower middle order. If Daniel Christian plays as he did in the BBL in the recent Big Bash, so that shouldn't be a concern. But if he doesn't, then I do not know what happens, because there's no like-for-like replacement for him. I think there's Daniel Sams as well, the Australian all-rounder, but he hasn't proven himself in the IPL again. And obviously he's not experienced as Daniel Christian. So for RCB to gain momentum and go on to the playoffs, I think the lower middle order should be a little sorted right now. By say a couple of games, they should decide, and they shouldn't tinker a lot with the playing 11 this time, which they do always. And that's usually the reason for their fall. So yeah, I think they should definitely try these Indian domestic Indian players in Mohammad Azharuddin, or like you said, Sachin Baby, or even Rajat Patidar for that matter. He could also play the role of the anchor in the middle overs if required.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. So we're running out of time, so which is why I'm going to finish off by asking all of you one quick question. It's straightforward, it's very simple. It's who do you think are going to be the finalists, and which team is finishing last of the table? Afaq, sir, we'll start with you.
It's too hard to say at this point.
The last one. Yes, sir, but it's just keeping in mind.
No, we have already given top fours. Now it depends on how the season will go. Who will be having the form? Who will lose the form? How it goes? It will be too far to call on the finalists. But if given chance, Mumbai and Delhi.
And so, who do you think is finishing last in the table?
Maybe Rajasthan or CSK. Rajasthan. I'm not denying the fact that Rajasthan is also having a very good mix of young and youth, and that, but their foreign players are not doing really well. We have seen Stokes in the previous season. Stokes failing in the first match as well. Butler not doing that good. Their foreign players are not, international players are not doing that good. So maybe I don't know till how far the Samson will take the load of the whole of the team. So maybe right. Rajasthan.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Tarun, sir, quickly, who do you think is reaching the finals and who's finishing last?
For me, definitely Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals is what I think are going to reach the finals. The team that is going to come last, I don't know, maybe CSK, but I don't know why my gut feeling also says this time it might be Sunrisers Hyderabad. Might be. But CSK, still, if you ask me, I'm still going to say CSK.
Right, sir. Interesting. Sudhanshu, sir?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be RCB versus Punjab in the finals. The red jerseys, the same kind of logo, the same kind of jersey. KL Rahul against his former side, Chris Gayle against his former side. It's going to be very interesting if that happens, to be honest. And both of them haven't won a single IPL trophy. So that's going to be interesting if you see a new winner. So yeah, I think RCB versus Punjab, and because they are quite a strong side. They're quite strong sides this time around after sorting out their middle orders. That was the problem last season for them. And then the last team for this season would be I guess it's going to be Rajasthan Royals. I agree with Ahmar sir, because they do not have that kind of experience. Ben Stokes and Butler aren't very consistent in IPL. Apart from one season, Ben Stokes hasn't really performed. And Butler's that one season with Rajasthan where he went on a sack and scored 6 half centuries in a row. After that, he hasn't really performed. So yeah, I think Rajasthan is going to be on the 8th positions.
Right. So thank you so much. So I think, yeah, RCB Punjab final would be something different, and we would see KL Rahul, Gale and stuff. They could not win the title with RCB, and then it would be an interesting final to watch. And lastly, Subrajit sir, who do you think is the finalist and who's finishing last?
The finalist for my side will be obviously like RCB versus Mumbai Indians again, where RCB will be winning this time maybe. And if you go for the last, maybe I could say, yeah, Rajasthan Royals, because of cricket is a game. See, not only cricket, football is fully team-oriented game, but cricket is also, you can say, like a one-man show cannot work. Right, Sanju Samson alone playing, it will not, like, at what level you will play. Maybe in some point they need to think. Others need to also perform, right? For that reason, yeah, Rajasthan Royals will be the last one. RR will be the last one, though they're the first champion. So forget about that now. So that's for my side.
Right. So
it's interesting.
Thank you so much.
Calling RCB versus Mumbai Indians when he didn't even name Mumbai Indians in top 4. Subrajit?
Pardon?
I think it's interesting you calling RCB versus Mumbai Indians when you didn't even name Mumbai Indians in your top 4.
Okay. I just want to take revenge, right?
That is why Subrajit have named only top 3. He has left the 4th place open.
Exactly.
But what exactly is to be noted is that throughout he was favoring Delhi Capitals.
Exactly.
And
then he completely, yeah. I don't know, yeah. Maybe
Delhi Capitals, we know Delhi Capitals is just like a Netherlands in World Cup.
No, Delhi Capitals is way better than Netherlands in the World Cup. Delhi Capitals this time is going to be a very difficult team.
So at some point they will be choking. They will be choking. I know that.
Let's see.
Right. So one thing we've done is I've noted down all your views, and we will be having a similar session, like let's say midway, once all teams have played 7. So we can probably edit our views that time as well. So we're out of time. So I would like to just take this opportunity on behalf of GSPR to thank all of you for coming here. It was great having you guys here, and we will meet once again. Until then, stay safe and have a great day, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ryan.